your socks! Hey!
The Lost Art with Andrew Cox podcast, now streaming on all major podcast platforms. A Till Valhalla Project ambassador. Thanks for tuning in to the podcast that's given a voice to our veterans. The Lost Art with Andrew Cox. Hello, my friends, and welcome back to the Lost Art Podcast, that podcast giving a voice to our veterans. I'm your host, Andrew Cox, and today we're having a fireside chat with the crew. But before we get into the episode, are you enjoying the podcast? And make sure you go to the website. That's thelostart.podbean.com. Go check it out, see what we got going on there. And if you want to support us in getting our veteran voices out for all to hear, there's several ways you can do that. You can go into our merchandise tab. You can go in and get you some cool merchandise. You can also become a patron and do a monthly donation, or you can do a one-time donation. Any of those will work, but help us in getting our veteran voices out for all to hear. A big shout out to the Till Valhalla Project out there doing amazing things. I encourage you to go to their website. That's tillvalhallaproject.com. Go check them out. And if there's any way you can help them out, please do so.
Ton Tavern, birthplace of the Corps. We as Marines hold this history close to our hearts. Wouldn't it be spectacular if the establishment was born again? The Ton Legacy Foundation, a nonprofit 501c3, is taking the task and is looking to the Marines to once again save the day. Help the Lost Art podcast in raising funds to help get the Ton built once again only 100 yards from the original establishment in Philadelphia. We are looking for Marines to donate $25, representing the upcoming 250th birthday of the Corps. Spread the message and help establish the Ton, a place for Marine brethren to gather and remember our historic beginning. Go to the Lost Art GoFundMe page and donate today. The Ton Legacy Foundation, reestablishing our birthplace.
All right, I got the crew, and we'll go ahead and go round robin. Mark, how you doing?
I'm doing fine, Andrew. Just trying to get ready for Christmas. Things are looking pretty good. Got beautiful weather out here. Just waiting for January 20th when things will still really start rock and rolling. I know that'll affect. It'll be a good effect on California too.
For sure, yeah. Now, are you expecting snow? Or are you gonna go out there with a snow machine and get you some, or what?
No, we were expecting just a little rain today, which would have given us some snow up in the mountains up in the county of San Diego. Get up about 7,000 feet.
Right.
Yeah,
right on. All right, Aaron, how are you doing?
No snow in the forecast for Florida, unfortunately.
No,
but it's
man,
cooled off a little bit. I mean, it's dipped down in the 40s,
Ooh.
But this next week it'll jump back up into the 80s. We know that. But
very nice.
Doing good, getting ready for Christmas as well. I think I'm ready for it to be over with now.
Yeah, I understand that. Yeah, for sure. All right, Mike, how you doing?
I'm good, Andrew. Can't complain. Been a good week.
Very nice.
Tuesday, made the great drive to the Atlanta airport, picked my son and his girlfriend up, and they're here for Christmas along with their 3 dogs.
Oh, they flew with their dogs?
Yeah, they're 2 of them they can consider as like emotional support dogs.
Okay.
And the third one they had to put in a kennel under the daggone plane.
So, that poor dog. He felt left out.
Yeah, but yeah, it's been a good week. We went up Thursday up to Nashville, saw Pittsburgh Penguins, Nashville Predators hockey game. That was a good time. I drove back Saturday, got to see Nashville. I've never been to Nashville. Boy, you want to talk about a town right there. I mean,
did you go down on the strip where all the bars are and everything?
Yeah, we had to go down there. Yeah.
Yeah.
We went to cool. Friday night. We hit like Laney Wilson's bar. We ate dinner there. It was pretty nice. It's like 3 different levels. The lower level, like the basement level, they had they call it dueling pianos bar.
Oh,
But
nice.
they literally have, you know, two different piano players. They're singing back and forth, but they're both playing together. That was I could have sat there all night and listened to that.
Yeah.
But then
Yeah,
we
very
left
cool.
there and went to some whiskey bar, and then we went to Luke Combs' new bar. It's something Project 10 or something like that. You want to talk about an establishment? It's not right on a strip, but it's you literally was that Broadway, I think it is. It's the
I
main
don't know
road, but
names.
you hang, you know, you go up one of the side streets, and there's other bars up there. But it was up there, and as soon as you walk in that place, it's like, good Lord. You know, it's 3 levels, got a whole still bar in the back of it, and they had you know, there's bands playing in all of those, but you know, this one band, it was something horses or something, but you know, I expected it to be strictly country music. But they were playing country music, and next, you know, the drummer in the back, he's just a long haired, scraggly little dude with this ratty old hat on, you know, little chicken arms back there going to town, and all of a sudden they went into playing like Baby Got Back, and you know,
what?
He's back there just jamming, just going to town singing, you know, I like big butts and I can't, you know, it's like, man, this is all, yeah, it was just interesting, you know, it was fun, and they really knew how to, you know, pull a crowd in to keep people to keep watching them and stuff. So, but it was a good time.
Yeah. Very
Other
cool.
than driving and nonstop driving up and down and up and down, but it's good.
Yeah.
I can't complain.
Well, at least you got something good out of it, so that's all right.
Yeah, it was a good time. Penguins won. Can't complain about that. They won in overtime.
Okay. All right. Very nice. Well, Vic, I don't know if you can top that. What do you got going on, Vic?
I got nothing. Holy God. Holy shit. Hold on. Oh my God. I hate my dog. Have I ever
What'd
told
you do?
My dog?
Well, yeah, when you step on it, what do you think?
I didn't step on him. I started talking. That's it. He's literally in the hallway chasing his tail right now because he's such a fucked up dog. Anybody want a dog? So anyway, we had our annual Christmas party last night, and had a good time. We had about 22 people in the house.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it was a big group. Our next door neighbors, all 4 of their girls all have boyfriends, and they brought friends over. So, I mean, we had a herd of kids in here, that are all around. I think the youngest one is 14. So 14 to 18-year-olds, we had a whole herd in the house. Oof. And then, just as many adults. So, I mean, it was a lot of fun. So, it was last night. That's about it. Yeah.
Nice. Well, we celebrated Madison's 12th birthday this week. That was pretty cool.
Yeah.
Other than they don't listen to me and they keep growing up, but other than that, it was good. It was a good time. I had a bunch of family there. That's the first time we've had a bunch of family there for the birthday because we're in Oklahoma. So hey, there you go. Worked out well, right? All right. Well, I guess we can go ahead and get into it. We can get into better news with Mark.
Okay. I found this organization called Operation First Response. Okay. They have it's a national organization. They assist active duty military, retired, all veterans, disabled veterans, Gold Star families, first responders. And they have a family assistance program, which helps, they're trying to focus on any type of financial difficulty that a veteran might be going for. In some of the organizations, even like the Wounded Warrior Project, we won't help. Our charter doesn't allow to help out with mortgages, with car payments, things like that. We try to focus on rent, utilities, immediate food assistance, things like that. But this operation, the Operation First Responders, they'll go into financial support for groceries, clothing, mortgages, rent, utilities, and vehicle payments. Like they say, the things that we take for granted, but a lot of these heroes and first responders that fall into need, and with this, and I'm gonna tell you, I've only been working for the Wood Warrior Project for what, like a little over 4 months,
Yeah.
but just the stories are the same, basically the same when they come to you. You're even there's either the emergency financial assistance or even the ones just seeking financial education. The last few years have been brutal with the prices going up, and people are living off credit cards, and now they're maxing them out. And it's even worse now this time of year, the crazy time where you're trying to, veterans trying to provide a decent Christmas for the family,
Oh
so they're
yeah.
feeling stressed and causing all sorts of problems. When you're, but a family of four in some of these areas are spending, 12, 1,400, $1,500 on groceries. That doesn't leave much for everything else. So this is another great group that I can tell. I got them through Charity Navigator. They're rated high with Charity Navigator, so you can feel pretty confident that it's a pretty good organization.
Nice.
So the website is operationfirstresponse.org.
Operationfirstresponse.org.
Yep. Just from what I've seen, looking through the website today, pretty impressed with them. I'm actually I gotta check and see if we use them at Wounded Warrior Project as one of our resources to go out to other veterans.
Yeah. Yeah. And I know you had said this before, that you guys reach out to other organizations for the things that you can't cover, that others might be able to cover down on.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely
Very
had a
cool.
case. I was working with both Tunnels, Two Towers, and the Semper Fi Fund on two different cases last week.
Oh, no kidding. Wow.
Yeah. So working together.
Now, how many cases do you think you see in a week?
I'll see. Well, just this last month, I was seeing 4 financial education classes a day, or intakes a day, and then I handled probably. I think I handled let's say 12 or 15 emergency cases this month.
Wow. That's wild. And you're just
Yeah.
one person there.
And that's just I'm one of what is it, 15, 16 on our team.
Holy cow. Now that's wild.
Oh
Well, it
yeah,
goes, I mean, goes to show there's a lot of veterans out there struggling.
there's a lot of people out there struggling.
Yeah. Well, it's good to know that there are places they can go to be able to get help and those types of things. Just don't be too proud. Go out and get some help.
That's what it is. It's like I tell you, you can't feel like the lone stranger. Yeah, it took a while to get in this position, and it's going to take, it's not going to be a quick fix to get totally out of it. But hey, we're a resource. We can help. We can get you started. We can be support along the way, and we can help find you other resources in your process of getting back to solvency.
Yeah, yeah, most definitely. Sorry, I jumped out of screen there because my dogs were chewing on something I had to get from them. I apologize. All right, Mark,
Yeah, I
you got
think.
anything else for us? Oh, yeah, go ahead, Mike.
No, I was going to say, I think that's the key. Like Mark's talking, it's not a quick fix, but it's, unfortunately, it's a band-aid. But
Yeah,
when you're that low, to know you finally, there's resources there, you have support. That's the stepping stone that a lot of people
yeah,
need in life,
It is. It
to
is.
be able to finally think straight, to get your head above the water so that you can actually do for yourself and do what you need to do. But it's just that kickstart. That's what it comes
yeah,
down to.
absolutely.
I mean, you
Doesn't
can.
matter what stage you're in, whether it's financial, mental, and it's all, the financial affects the mental aspect of everything
Oh,
too.
yeah.
It
So
does. And just the you can hear the tension in their voices when you first start the conversation, and then once you get them on a path, you get them in a plan, get a plan, and show them some light at the end of the tunnel. It's just you can hear the relief in their
yeah,
voice. It's just
yeah.
spectacular.
Yeah. That's pretty cool. You get to live through that and be able to experience the helping people out and as they're
Yeah.
moving along. It's pretty cool. I like it. What, you got anything else, Mark?
That should be it for me today.
All right, sounds good. I guess we'll move on to military news with Vic.
Well, good evening, everybody, and won't see you before then. So, Merry Christmas. All right, so let's get into it. First off, Space Force is celebrating its 5th birthday.
Whoop whoop.
Yep, the new service has fielded service components to combatant commands in the same way as other services already. There are Space Force components to the U.S. Indo-Pacific Command, Central Command, European Command, and Africa Command. Space Force is also designated as professional military education and training officer training programs and is working to replicate it for its enlisted personnel as well. Let's see. Some other cool stuff. Space Force is connected over 100,000 active satellite communications use, deployed electronic warfare capabilities to 10 nations for a collective 2,551 days. And already in 2024, Guardians have supported 45 exercises, tracked 226 space launches, and cataloged 3,345 space objects.
Wow.
Yeah.
I didn't even know there was that many launches in a year. That's crazy.
Yeah, that's all SpaceX right there. It's all SpaceX.
That's true. Now, is there another company out there doing it?
But
launching
his
anything?
birthday. Virgin, Virgin Space, Virgin Air, whatever. They've been doing some stuff. If you remember their guy, their CEO, went and I guess they have like a low altitude, kind of, or high altitude, whatever, spacecraft that you can get up high enough for your wait list, and their CEO went up in that aircraft. So Virgin's trying to get into that market too. So
yeah.
Let's see.
That's pretty cool.
And not so happy of a light there. 2 U.S. Navy pilots were shot down Sunday over the Red Sea in an apparent friendly fire accident. It was a 2-seater F-18. Both pilots were recovered alive, with one suffered minor injuries, but the incident underlines just how dangerous the Red Sea corridor has become. Let's see. The F-8, this is what's weird. The F-18 shot down had just flown off the deck of the U.S. Harry Truman aircraft carrier, Central Command said. On December 15th, the CENTCOM acknowledged that Truman had entered the Mideast, but hadn't specified that the carrier or its battle group was in the Red Sea. The guided missile cruiser USS Gettysburg, which is part of the USS Harry Truman Carrier Strike Group, mistakenly fired and hit the F-18. From the military description, the aircraft shot down was a 2-seater F-18 Super Hornet out of Oceana.
Wow.
Naval Station Oceana. It isn't immediately clear how the Gettysburg could mistake the F-18 for an enemy aircraft or missile, particularly as the ships of the battle group remain linked by radar and radio communication. But however, Central Command said that warships and aircraft earlier shot down multiple Houthi drones and anti-ship cruise missiles launched by the rebels. So apparently the Gettysburg thought it was either a drone or a cruise missile. So
wow.
Yeah, but luckily both the pilots are okay.
Yeah.
You know, you said it earlier, Vic. There is a ton of stuff going on in that area right now.
Oh yeah.
And mainly it's because the Houthis are technically they're not the only word I'm looking for, Iranian entity left, but the one that's relevant right now.
Right.
Able to still cause, like, they'll claim this for a victory probably.
Oh yeah,
I'm sure.
Shoot each other.
So interestingly, since the Truman's arrival, the U.S. has stepped up its airstrike targeting the Houthis and their missile fired into the Red Sea and the surrounding areas. However, the presence of an American warship group may spark renewed attacks from the rebels, like what the USS Dwight D. Eisenhower saw last year. The deployment marked what the Navy described as the most intense combat since World War II.
Wow.
Yeah. So, it's pretty thick over there, apparently. And let's see. Based on a 2021 to 2022 study, because that's the most current data we have, suicide rates among veterans have held steady at roughly 17.6 deaths per day, despite a concerted federal effort to bring the number down. 2022 figures, the latest available from the federal census data, suggest limited progress on the issue of suicide prevention by Veteran Affairs. At least 6,407 veterans died by suicide in 2022. The 14th out of 15 years, the number has been above 6,400 mark. However, people are trying to find some good news in this. The pattern of suicide among veterans differ across demographic subgroups, and over time, the recent decrease in suicide rate among younger veterans is encouraging. Yet, increase among older veteran groups highlight the need for targeted intervention. More than 84,000 veterans have died as a result from suicide since 2010. That's a higher total than all of the combat deaths the U.S. suffered in the wars of Vietnam, Iraq, and Afghanistan combined.
Whoa.
Yeah, that's a huge data point right there.
Say that one more time.
More than 84,000 veterans have died as a result of suicide since 2010. That's a higher total than all of the combat deaths U.S. troops have suffered in the wars in Vietnam, Iraq, and Afghanistan combined.
Wow.
Yeah. But let's see, every veteran suicide is a tragedy. U.S. Secretary Dennis McDonough said in a statement accompanying the release of the report, there's nothing more important to the VA than ending veteran suicide, and that means providing veterans with the care when they need it, wherever they need it, however they need it. We will learn from the report to better serve veterans and save lives. Let's see. The U.S. VA researchers highlighted several positive trends in the latest census data. For example, suicide rates for female veterans decreased 24% from 21 to 22, while the rate for non-veteran women rose by 5%. The rate for veteran and civilian males is roughly the same. So things are holding steady. They're not getting any better or any worse. Let's see, but there is not a government program with weaker data supporting its funding than this. I'm not anybody heard of the Nimitz Group? I guess maybe they're a research group.
I've heard of them.
Yeah, Justin Brown, CEO of the Nimitz Group, says for 2 decades, the VA has used the same playbook for continuous failed outcomes. The results have been tens of thousands of lives lost, billions spent, and no accountability.
Wow.
Yeah.
And that was according to the Nimitz Group.
Correct. According to the Nimitz Group. Yep.
Wow.
Let's see. And a little hometown news. The first, I don't know if you guys have heard this, the first recruit to gunnery sergeant graduated this past Friday.
I'm sorry, say that again.
Yeah. The first recruit to gunnery sergeant graduated this past Friday.
Yep. Justin Kelly.
Yep.
Justin Kelly.
And
he spent 5 years in the Air Force or something like that.
Yes.
Part of the talent acquisition. That's what is benefiting him is that he was a staff sergeant, an E5 in the Air Force. So a little more mature, but I'm kind of I seen a video on this. I'm kind of torn like this guy was that I watched. I can't remember his name, but he said on one hand, we need these guys in these special MOSs, cyber warfare, right? At the same time, you've taken a recruit, essentially. He doesn't know anything about the Marine Corps. Got it. He was in the Air Force. He don't know anything about the Marine Corps, and you made him a gunnery sergeant. His leadership, wherever he's placed in the Marine Corps, is going to be leaning on him for answers to things that a typical gunnery sergeant makes within a unit.
Yeah.
Yep.
Maybe they should look at something very similar to how the President's Own does things. They have a different, instead of cross rifles or whatever, they have a specific thing in the center that makes them whatever it is,
It's a music lyre. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I'm just talking for the other.
Oh yeah.
MOSs. I don't know what there would be. A giant
keyboard.
Brain.
Well,
a computer keyboard.
Did it say what his MOS was?
Yeah, it's cyber.
Yeah, it's cybersecurity or something. What is it?
So then he's 3 up, 2 down with the little satellite dish in the middle or something.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not making fun of the guy, but good for him. I mean, but
created a new rank within MOS.
Yeah.
But that would be a way to not to make light of the individual necessarily, but to show that if I'm a company commander or something like that, and I see a gunny, well, that gunny may not be right. They used to have technical ranks as you went up. So that's not necessarily a new thing. The Army did it for a long time. I think we did it as well, if I'm not mistaken. But maybe doing that, you got to differentiate somehow. I don't know.
Well, it could be like almost like a specialist in the Army, a specialist, and then
I mean, it used to be specialist, and then specialist, spec 4, spec 5, spec 6.
Yeah.
All the way up. But
the cyber guys, majority of those guys aren't. They're on typically at staff level command.
Yeah.
So they're rarely going to fall into a line company or
right.
It could fall into a company intel. I don't know. I don't know what the plan is for them in the future, but
after Kelly graduates boot camp, December 20th, he's heading to Marine Corps Cyber Command, his destination unit, to begin putting his expertise to work as a member of the Marine Corps Reserves.
Oh,
the other thing I forgot. Yeah. Cyber Command. They typically, they send people out to units to support. So they typically don't, essentially they would go TAD to other units to support.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
So I thought this was interesting. Where to go? This unconventional program, particularly Marine Corps, which often requires service transfers to start from the beginning of the rank structures, is thanks to the Marine Corps Talent Acquisition Program, as Aaron noted, an initiative announced earlier this year designed to attract high-demand cyberspace warfare and signals intelligence talent into the service with the added incentive and seniority. First promoted in June, the program quickly received 50 applicants. Let's see, representing prior service Marines who'd gotten out, prospective transfer of the services, and civilians who'd never served. From that group, 3 were selected as an intensive application interviews process to participate in the program. Kelly was the only selectee who was not prior Marine, was the first to enter the pipeline, checking into boot camp in September. So they whittled 50 applicants down to 3. So
it's not just everybody and their brother get to do it. There's actually an actual process, and they're vetted and
correct.
Oh yeah, okay. Yeah. And the ones that came back, they were Marines, came back. They obviously didn't have to go to boot camp. They just went straight to wherever may have been. Yeah, that makes sense.
Did those automatically go from like corporal to gunny, or what's the?
Yeah, they didn't say anything about the other 2 Marine applicants.
I would imagine so. I mean, if it's the same program.
I don't know. I mean, because as a recruiter, if you're a prior service, usually you come in 1 rank lower and then have to earn your rank back.
But the staff sergeant in the Air Force didn't have to, and he went to boot camp.
Yeah, correct. But so maybe, I don't know. But if it's part of the acquisition talent program, I'd be interested to see if I could find anything and go down that rabbit hole.
Be a store.
Yeah.
Kids. I went from corporal to gunnery sergeant.
Yeah.
When they
I wish I'd have
graduate,
done that.
when they graduate boot camp and got to,
I mean,
pin that rank on them, the first thing they give them is a coffee cup. So it's like,
there were guys that were going from corporal and sergeant to gunnery sergeant, like in some even master in no time at all, and some in battlefield commissions.
Yeah, that's true.
So
yeah.
I figured if they took 50 applicants and they dwindle it down to that's a
very
application process.
Yeah, very true.
Or acceptance process.
That's all I got. I yield the rest of my time.
Oh, you're yielding. All right. Well, let's go over to current events with Aaron.
All right.
No, that was current news with Aaron.
There's lots of events going on, but current news. Let me get back over here to this article because there's some quotes in here that I need to remind people of. I know y'all have heard it before. So
I'm excited.
Seen the latest and greatest from the current administration?
Maybe.
If not, the Wall Street Journal reported Thursday that Biden's stamina issues were apparent within his first few months in office.
Ooh.
They recited that interviews with nearly 50 people, including current and former White House staffers who interacted directly with the president. A warm former aide recalled a national security official explaining why a meeting in the spring of 2021 was canceled altogether. They were quoted as saying, "He has good days and bad days, and today was a bad day, so we're going to address this tomorrow." That must be nice.
Wow.
How many times did y'all wish you could have said, "Hey, today's a bad day, we'll address it tomorrow"?
Man, there's many times I wanted to do that.
So the White House pushed back on the substance of the journal's report. Of course they did. In a statement provided to Fox News Digital this week, saying Biden's policy accomplishments provide indisputable proof of his qualifications and leadership. What accomplishments? They said President Biden speaks with members of his cabinet daily and with most members multiple times a week, staying in close touch with them about implementation of key laws and strengthening our national security. Well, not according to this report, he doesn't. And of course, some of the media has defended him. It goes on. Do y'all remember when what is his name? Morning Joe Scarborough said "F you" to the viewers who can't handle the truth that the president is the best Biden ever. Remember that?
I do not remember that.
Well, apparently he did. I've seen the video. He did. He said, if y'all don't think he's the best Biden ever, F you, big F you. So guess what, right, Joe? And then, of course, the other biggest member of this administration that defended him and is complicit in this is Vice President Kamala Harris. He has no regrets about repeated defenses of Biden's fitness. So we'll see where this goes. Probably nothing as usual, but
true. Yeah, I believe that.
Now you've got people in foreign countries that are like, there is no president right now. So everybody's listening to what Trump is saying.
I saw a video of a woman was mad at Trump. It was like, you said all these things and you didn't do anything and da 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 da. And then at the bottom, the caption read, "Should somebody tell her that he's not the president yet?"
Yeah,
wow.
Matter of time before it started coming out.
Oh yeah.
Who's running?
Imagine what's going to come out in like 3 or 4 years.
Oh yeah,
it's going to be crazy.
And they'll get to the bottom of it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but is any of it going to matter?
Nope, not at all.
At that point, all it is validation for everybody that thought it. But
my satisfaction is knowing that we were all right. Right.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that would be Trump's satisfaction too, is
to
know that he was right about things. And some people have already come out and admitted that he's right. But
some people that is not his supporter too.
Yeah.
That's pretty wild. You got anything else, Aaron?
There's another one just broke, I guess, early this morning on the subway. A woman was caught on fire. Well, I guess a couple hours ago, they caught the suspect, or they detained a suspect. And he happens to be a Guatemalan immigrant.
Really?
Imagine that.
But the lady, prayers to her family. She did die from being so basically burned it, which is horrible. But
that's unfortunate. So the guy just out of nowhere decided, hey, I'm gonna light this lady on fire, type of thing, or what was it?
Well, reports are, and I think video shows and the transit police that were there on the scene, they basically said she was sitting on the train and he just walked up to her and lit her clothes on fire, and before you knew it, she was engulfed.
Huh. That's crazy.
Yeah.
It just takes a special person to actually want to do that to another human being.
Oh,
I don't understand.
I don't.
When I say special, I don't mean it in a good way. It's just
yeah.
Still under investigation, so I'm sure a lot more will come out. But apparently, there's no linkage right now. What his motive was or what have you. But
God, that's ridiculous. Well, you know what I think, and this is just the law according to me, but I remember something in the Bible that says an eye for an eye, something like that. I think they should light that dude on fire and let him suffer the same way the woman did.
Well, unfortunately, we passed a lot of laws and rules throughout the years that says we can't do that.
That's why I'm not in charge.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was a thing I posted this week. Well, it was Wednesday night. I got the alert on my phone from the local news, but a woman took her 3-year-old to the local hospital, Phoebe Putney Hospital. Mm-hmm. And when she got there, she's like, he's not, basically he's not responsive. Well, when the emergency room doctors and nurses and all that started looking at him, he was dead. But he had been beat, he had multiple broken bones, beat, and stuff like that. And I sent the link to my wife because she's a labor and delivery nurse, and she's like, "Oh my God," she said, "I delivered her."
No way.
And a 3-year-old, and I was like, and now, and this is since Wednesday, she's now found a prominent lawyer that is suing the hospital because she claims the kid was still alive when she took him there, even though she admits to beating the kid. Now she's suing the hospital to say they didn't do everything that they needed to do to save the kid's life. But there was nothing they could do. And like I said to my wife, I said, unfortunately, somebody like that, I said, they need to just put her in a room and just let somebody just beat her to the point that she gets to experience the death of that poor 3-year-old kid.
It's absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah. I mean, she does not deserve to live. I mean, there may be mental aspects, issues. I don't know, drugs, but it's, it's a nonstop thing in this area, especially in Southwest Georgia. It's just ridiculous but my wife sees it all the time as a labor and delivery nurse, but I sent her the thing and she instantly replied back to me and she's like, "Oh my God, I delivered her."
Oh my God.
So just to know that, there was this innocent little child And as a parent, as a human being, you could do that to a child.
I just don't understand any of that whatsoever. I get incredibly upset about kids getting hurt or kids, being abused or whatever.
Well, absolutely, yes.
I just don't understand. Like, I can understand beating the hell out of somebody, an adult. I get it. Okay, you get mad at somebody, you beat the crap out of them. Okay, move on. But a child that can't defend itself, that's ridiculous.
Yeah. And that's one thing Kelly and I were talking about. Maybe it was a mental thing, mental aspect, mental health. I don't know. It's probably drugs involved. More than likely, there was, a boyfriend involved and all that crap. But just the simple fact that you could do that, and as my wife said, she said, unfortunately, when a woman gives birth, they go through what are they called? The baby blues, that whole hormone transition and change. And, there's a lot of issues with that. And she's like, yeah, well, she was way out of that.
Well, you said the baby was 3 years old?
3 years old. Yes.
3
years old, 3-year-old child. I mean, just to stop and think about, you would literally sit there and do something like that to a 3-year-old. It's like taking a little dog, a little chihuahua, and taking it and throwing it, against the wall or something. It's like, really?
Yeah.
At least I'm worried about the chihuahua biting the crap out of me. But what is that little 3-year-old going to do? And I'm not trying to make this dark. I'm just saying in general, I 100% agree with you, an eye for an eye, tooth for a tooth. I'm willing to turn the cheek, but when I turn it to the other side, I said, I promise you, something's coming back at you.
Yeah, that's a true statement. Yeah. Wow. Yeah, it's just ridiculous. Well, Aaron, you got anything else?
That's all I got for current news.
All right. Very well. All right. Now that Mike's got us all depressed, we're going to have to turn back to Mike for some good news. Good news stories with Mike.
What were you saying, Aaron?
I said, cheer us up.
All righty. Well, I had a couple different articles, and I had them saved. And now when I try to go back to them, the links won't. One was about, I think it was China actually developed, I'm assuming it was a medication. I read it, but I can't remember now, that was actually able to stop and reverse Alzheimer's disease.
No way.
But it was the way it works with the brain, and it basically eats the plaque in the brain that causes the brain signals and stuff like that. But I can't find the article now. That's why I've been sitting there with my head turned on my phone trying to find it again after I got it. But I found another good one here.
If that's true, that's amazing.
Yeah.
Because that's a huge
there's a lot of, I kept finding articles, from like the Mayo Clinic and that, referencing it, but they're not giving me any specifics other than, there, possibly a cure. They don't know that it'll necessarily cure it, but they were, what they're talking it is it could put, 15, 20 years.
Could slow it down tremendously.
Slow it down, exactly, yes. But here's an article. Now that we're, I got you all depressed. Everybody knows what the NORAD tracker is, right? Santa tracker.
Oh yeah. We watch it every year.
Does anybody know how it was started?
Well, Santa came about and started flying something and bringing presents to kids, and I have no idea.
Well, this article tells how a wrong number to a top secret military phone led to the NORAD tracker with millions of fans worldwide.
Are you serious?
Yeah. Says the official Santa tracker has been delighting families worldwide for 7 decades. Got its unlikely start with a child accidentally calling the telephone number of a top secret Pentagon hotline responsible for alerting the military of an attack on North America.
Oh my gosh.
Hey, they better not shoot Santa down.
Yeah, exactly.
That's
kind of what's in the article. Said in December 1955, 1 year after President Eisenhower established a hotline, the red phone rang at the Continental Air Defense Command, now known as NORAD, North American Aerospace Defense Command. At this time, the country was in the middle of the Cold War and tensions were high, and the number was for emergency use only, specifically for world nuclear attack. When commanding officer Colonel Harry Shoup answered the phone, he heard a squeaky little voice saying, "Is this Santa Claus?"
Wow.
Shoup said he thought it was a prank and responded accordingly until the little boy started crying. Realizing it wasn't actually a joke, Shoup, a father of four, played Santa and then spoke to the mom, who told him the number was in a holiday ad for the Sears department store in the Christmas catalog.
Wow.
The number printed in the advertisement was one digit off from what Sears intended to print.
Oh my God.
He
That's
knows
crazy.
that Shoup saw the humor at the time, but then the ad said, "Call me on my private phone and I will talk to you personally anytime, day or night. Kiddies, be sure to dial the correct number." And that's what the ad said. So just reading that, it's almost like it was set up. Make sure you call the right number. Shoup said the kids kept calling, and Shoup put two airmen on a duty phone to answer the phone as Santa Claus. It got to be a big joke at the command center, Shoup's daughter, Terry Von Curran, said. The old man's really flipped his lid this time of the year, I remember saying. We're answering phones pretending to be Santa Claus. They called him the old man. So they had a giant board used to track airplanes, and on Christmas Eve, some of the staff added a sleigh with reindeer on it. When Shoup saw it, they apologized and offered to remove it. But he said, "No, leave it up there. That's a great idea." He said the next thing you know, Shoup, as we called Dad, called a radio station and said, "This is a commander at Combat Alert Center. We have an unidentified flying object." "Oh, no, looks like a sleigh."
No way is this true.
So the radio stations that went out over multiple areas in multiple states, the radio stations started calling every hour to talk to Shoup and say, "Where's Santa now?" Now that NORAD's Santa tracking tradition began, it's grown annually for 69 years. They started issuing a press release on Christmas Eve that appeared in media around the country, announcing that they would be tracking the old guy, the big man in the big red sleigh that was inbound from the North Pole. Said even in 1960, NORAD started mailing vinyl records. Those little, they were all like floppy disks. Do you remember them? They were like 45s, they're real flimsy, but they're almost like a one-time use kind of thing. But started mailing vinyl records to radio stations with pre-recorded updates. And in the 70s, they broadcast updates on TV. He said now, at this point, they have over 1,250 volunteers, both military and civilian, that answer the calls. Every year, answer the calls. It's become a family tradition. Then they turn it into a 1877 HI NORAD call center. And then, of course, now in the 21st century, they have a free app and family can use Amazon's Alexa service to ask for updates.
Yeah, I've used that. I've used the app with the girls.
So. Yeah, we always used to get on the computer, the desktop with the kids and say, "Let's see where Santa's at," and it's like, "Oh, he's in Detroit. You need to get to bed.
You better go to sleep."
Yeah. Shoup's daughter said Shoup died in 2009. He served in World War II, the Korean War, and the Vietnam War. He received a soldier's medal for saving the life of another airman and multiple other awards. His daughter said he kept all the letters that kids ever sent to him about Santa inside his locked briefcase. And he said his daughter, on his deathbed, "My father told me that was one of the proudest moments I've ever had, being Santa Claus."
Wow. That's really cool.
Mark, was that you that called the number?
It was
squeaky voice.
My brother.
Is this Santa Claus?
It's your brother. Very nice. Wow. That is a great story. Thank you, Mike. That was good.
Yeah. I'm glad I could kind of bring it back up a little bit.
Yeah, that was great.
All of our kids have used it. We want to track Santa.
Of course,
a misprint in a Sears catalog started
tell
it
you what,
all. So
Sears better be glad they're not around anymore because they'd have got blown up. I think they'd have there'd been a smart missile or bomb or something coming for them if they'd have
yeah,
done it this time. Yeah.
it's funny and it's interesting. It was all that, and just kept getting calls. So he stuck 2 airmen on her. He's like, answer the phone.
Yeah.
Here's catalog. Who sat there and circled all the stuff they wanted.
Yep.
Here's catalog.
Yeah, I've done that
Every year.
Oh, you waited for the Sears Christmas catalog. Heck yeah.
Oh, heck yeah. Now Sears has been out of business for how long now? You know?
I think they officially went out of business like 2018 or something. I worked for Sears about 4 years after I got out of the Marine Corps, but I left there in 2014, and they were on a extreme downward cycle at that point. But,
yeah, you still see stores though. It says Sears. They haven't sold the stores apparently.
Yeah. Well, that was one thing. Sears owned all the properties.
Yeah.
They owned all the locations and the buildings. And
Well, it used to be Sears and Roebuck back in the day. Mark remembers ordering Tractor Supplies and all that stuff from them, right, Mark?
Heck yeah. There's a lot of it, that was it was one of those old companies, they used to have pensions, and then a lot of kids who went to school with, their parents that worked for them and everything. So yeah, those are good old fashioned companies.
When I started at Sears here in Albany at the mall, that he had done 40 some years with Sears and retired, and then they asked him to come back to help, and that was one of the biggest problems Sears had. You walk into stores and they look like they were definitely from 20 years ago. They weren't updated and they asked him to come back in 94 to help remodel the store and set it up and all kinds of stuff. And he did come back, but he was in his mid 70s when I met him, Glenn Lofton. But he talked about that, what a great company was to work for. He had stocks in Sears, and they got stocks.
I hope he sold when they were high.
Yeah. Well, he said every year for Christmas, every employee for Sears and Roebuck got stocks.
No kidding.
So his family was well off. He had pension with them.
Yeah,
you can order a house. You can order a house from them.
Well, that's the claim to fame here in Georgia. Is Jimmy Carter, the house he was born in, was ordered and delivered from Sears.
By Sears, yeah.
Came in on a railroad.
The most important thing that Sears and Roebuck Company had back in the day was the Red Ryder BB gun. You shoot your eye out, kid.
Yep.
Yeah.
Christmas story.
That's right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Apparently, the fountain in Savannah's large Forsyth Park, the fountain was ordered from Sears.
Yeah.
No kidding.
Yeah. Papa Mike, awesome. Papa Mark, were you actually the one that used the Sears Roebuck catalog for toilet paper?
Yeah, it was a lot softer then than we saw it. Our pages were kind of glossy. You didn't really.
There's some old farmers that I worked for that had it outside. Oh yeah, always saved for that.
Oh man.
That's where my grandpa ordered all his Craftsman tools from.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Today.
Mm-hmm. Where do you order them from now?
Craftsman?
Yeah.
Just go to craftsman.com or something.
Lowe's sells them now.
Lowe's sells, they have Stanley Tools owns the right to them, but now they sell the Craftsman brand at Lowe's. But Ace Hardware sells them. And
yeah.
No kidding.
The exchange here at McDill, they sell Craftsman.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Now, is it the same quality?
No.
No. Because back in the day, it was good. It was good stuff.
Nothing is the same quality anymore.
Yeah, good point. Yeah, you're right. I don't know what to do. Well, hey, you know what? I know exactly what to do. I think it's time to go around and get some words of wisdom. What do y'all think? All right, man. Mark has already got a smile on his face. He's got something for you. All right, Vic, what do you got?
Never blame others for the road you're on. It's your own asphalt.
Wow.
That was nice.
No, been stated.
I am definitely going to use that. Yeah, that was good. That was good. All right, Mike, what do you got?
Wisdom comes only through suffering.
Yeah, I can see that. Yeah. All right, Aaron, what do you got?
I'll let y'all figure out who said this one. Many people have, but more recently I heard someone say this. This too shall pass.
I think Aaron said it. Who did say it recently?
You.
Now you got me curious.
You.
I said that.
Yeah, the way I see it.
Yep, this too shall pass. Yeah.
They're catching on.
Yeah. I like it. I got Aaron quoting me. It's
Yep.
a bad day when he's quoting me. He couldn't find anything better than me. Oh man, I'm sorry, Aaron.
Well, I was sitting there scrolling and I seen it and I was like, yep, that's definitely words of wisdom right there.
Yeah. I like it. All right, Mark, what do you got?
Okay, I'm gonna feed off of Vic's
Okay.
leadership quote there. It says, I'm gonna say, never blindly follow a path. Unless you're lost in the woods, then it might be a good time to try it.
Unless you're lost in the woods.
So who said that one, Mark?
I have no idea.
I've actually heard that one before, and I remember someone saying it, and I was like, who the hell?
That's pretty good. You always come
time.
up with some humdingers. I'm just gonna start calling you Humdinger Mark. Yeah. That's good. Well, guys, thanks again for coming on and doing the podcast with me. I truly appreciate it. You guys rock. I don't care what anybody says about you. I don't even listen to them. I'll be honest. I don't listen to them at all. I don't laugh at you. Nothing. You guys are awesome. So thank you for what you do. To all the listeners out there, if you're struggling, need help, anything like that, don't forget the VA does have some great resources. You can always dial 988, press option 1. You can text 838-255, or you can go to veteranscrisisline.net and click on that chat icon. Any of those options are going to put you in contact with somebody that can help you out. But remember, one veteran life loss is one too many. I care about you. The crew cares about you. The whole veteran community cares about you. So please reach out for help. And if you're out there, you're not struggling, reach out to the buddies you served with and ask them how they're doing. And if you can help them out, please do so. All right, guys. Thanks again. I truly appreciate it. To all the listeners, stay motivated.
Merry Christmas.
Change your socks. Oh,
Merry
yeah.
Christmas.
And Merry Christmas. Yeah, Mark. Yeah, man, Mark's on point. Merry Christmas. All right.